Okay, first thing we're gonna do is review how to find the third side of a triangle if I already have two sides. Anybody remember how to do that? How do I find the third side of a triangle if I have two sides? That's a good guess. That's for similar triangles. But if I want to find the actual number, here, we did it a bunch last week. Not SOHCAHTOA, that's a good guess too. Well, I appreciate you just listing the things we've talked about recently, but it worked. Pythagorean theorem is correct. Okay, so my C has to be the longest side, the hypotenuse, right? That's the hypotenuse, so that's my C. A and B, it doesn't matter which one you do. So I would do A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Remember doing that last week? Right? Sadly, yes. Okay. Now let's find X. What's the first thing I do to find X? Square everything that I can. I can't square the X, right? But I could do 16 equals, what's 9 squared? Good. Okay. Now what? Yeah, good. Subtract the 16. So X squared equals whatever that is. Good. Square root. See if the square root is a nice whole number. It's not, sadly. So what do I have to do? Factor tree. So what's a number that goes into 65? Good. And? Good. Can I do either of those more? Is there a pair? So then that is simplified. So my answer would be 65 feet. Did that jog your memory enough, or do you want to do one more?
I think you got it.
Jimmy's got it. Can we move on? Okay. We did a bunch of those last week, and you guys did great. So we're going to move on. So when you have two sides of a triangle, you can find the missing side by using the Pythagorean theorem, which is A squared plus B squared equals C squared, where the A and B just have to be either the opposite or the adjacent side. It doesn't matter which one, but the C has to be the hypotenuse, okay? What we're going to talk about today is what if I'm looking for a side of a triangle, but I don't have all three sides, or two of the sides, but I have an angle instead. So I can still find the missing side. I'm just going to use my trig functions, either sine, cosine, or tangent, okay? So if you don't have these memorized, I need you to get them memorized, okay? What fraction goes with the sine function? O and H, opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse. Guys, I've said this every day this unit. I'm not going to give you these or give you the SOHCAHTOA on your test. You got to get them memorized, okay? And then tangent is opposite over adjacent. So we use this mnemonic device to help us remember the order. So you got to get those memorized. Okay. Everything so far has been review. Is there any questions so far before we go through the new stuff? Anything? Last chance? Okay. So calculator must be in degree mode. We already checked that. All right, solve for X. So here's what you want to do. The first thing you want to do is figure out which trig function we're going to use, okay? So to do that, our theta, right, that right there, our theta, that means the angle, right? So this right here is going to be the theta for us. It just doesn't say theta because I actually know what the measure is. It's 49, okay? So if that's our theta, then is the 14 opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse? That's the hypotenuse. Good. Because that's the longest side, right? The one opposite of the 90-degree angle. And what about the X? That's the opposite. On this problem, there's not an X on the adjacent side or a number. We don't care about that side at all that's blank, okay? So now that I know that I am looking for the opposite and I have the hypotenuse, that's going to help me decide which of these to use. So which one do you think I should use? Sin? Lydia, why sine? You got it. Because I'm looking for the opposite and I have the hypotenuse, then I have to use the only trig function that uses those. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay, so then I'm gonna set up my problem. So the angle is the theta. So sine of 49 equals x over 14. So the 49 is my angle, right? So that replaced my theta. And then my sine equals opposite x over hypotenuse 14. Good? Is x alone? How do I get x alone? Times it. It is being divided, so I'm going to times the 14 on both sides. And then I'm going to get out my calculator. Double check, I'm in degree mode. And I do 14 times the sine of 49. And I got 10.57 because the 5 after the 6 rounds it up, right? So I just typed in my 14 times sine of 49, which is what I got for from solving here. And I got 10.57. Did you guys try typing it in? Yeah. It says not a number? You typed in 14 times the sine of 49?
He just made it negative instead of just 14 times.
Oh, you did 14 minus instead? Yeah.
Not like 14 minus, but like the
14 negative? Yeah, so you just pressed the wrong button. Just press the times one. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, x compared to our angle that we're given. Is it opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse? Good. And the 14? Hypotenuse. So sine, cosine, or tangent? What do you guys think? Is it sine again? Yeah, I agree. So sine of 21 equals x over 14. And then what do I need to do to get the x alone? Times it. Fourteen times 14 times the sine of 21. And I got 5.017. So the 7 rounds the 1 up, right? So 5.02. Remember, we always do 2 decimals, hundredths place. So 5.02 is x.
You do the hundredth place?
Oh, yeah, I always want you to do hundredths, which is 2 decimal places.
On the last one, you said tenths.
On the last one I said tenths. Oh, well, just do what the instructions say. But if they don't say anything, do hundredths.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I want you to try C. I'm going to walk around and answer questions. I want you to try C on your own.